Hi guys, so I am back again and I just wanted to film this because a lot of people over on my Studygram have been asking about what to do when you have a bad teacher. And obviously when I'm saying bad teacher, I'm not saying that like they are absolutely awful and they should be fired or anything. I'm just saying that maybe certain people can't learn from their methods of teaching as well as other people can. So obviously it might not be the best idea for them to be removed from the class, which probably wouldn't happen anyway. So realistically, when you have a bad teacher, the only solution is to teach yourself, I'm afraid. There isn't much else you can do. So obviously I'm just going to say now about some certain places that you can find good resources. So you can obviously buy textbooks like CGP and go onto your actual exam board ones, because the ones for your exam board are better in my opinion than CGP for GCSEs, but CGP are actually quite good for A-levels, especially their workbooks. And then you also can use YouTube videos, so it depends on the subject that you're wanting, but I know for like English you've got Mr. Brough and Stacey Ray, and then for maths you also have places like Exam Solutions, and I use Exam Solutions personally quite a lot. Not because my teacher's bad, it's just because I like using their examples for the way they do things. So yeah, you've got all those help and resources which are obviously out there to help those people that are struggling. You could also look into getting a personal tutor depending on your financial position. Some of them do tend to be about £20 per hour, but I believe that you can go onto some sites and there will be uni students that are looking to tutor GCSE and A-level students. So they can earn a bit of extra money, so they are quite often cheaper. They'll be about £5 or £8 an hour. So if you can find one of them and you are in a position to do so, then I would definitely recommend doing that. I know people in my GCSE maths class that had tutors outside of school, although personally I have never done that. And obviously a school can't just remove a teacher based on one complaint. But however, it is your grade at the end of the day. This is what's going to be with you for the rest of your life, whether it's GCSE or whether it's A-level. So it is important that you solve the issue. If you are struggling to teach yourself and you can't do it, and obviously you shouldn't be in a position where you have to teach yourself, but if the situation just isn't getting any better with your teacher, then you will probably have to look to other people for advice. So if you are struggling in English in particular, I know I struggled in English GCSE with my teacher, you can always go and speak to other subject teachers. So I went and spoke to the head of English and she gave me English revision sessions in the morning just with her rather than my English teacher. So that really helped me. I wouldn't have done my exam without her. So yeah, you can always go and speak to other subject teachers, and please don't worry about offending the current teacher you have, because obviously it's your grade at the end of the day. So would you rather fail and keep your teacher happy, or get the grade and possibly offend them? But they won't be that bothered. This will have happened before to them. Obviously it's probably happened to every single teacher. You know, you're not going to be able to please everyone. Buy the textbooks and exercise books. Like I said, CGP do really good workbooks because they have the answers explained in the back most of the time, and they are very helpful, especially for A-levels. Yes, so when you go home after having one of those lessons, I would say break it down. Break it down into little bits that you're not understanding, or like if you're in a class where you just didn't get any notes down because your teacher doesn't let you take notes, then you're going to have to look at the topic you've just been doing and research it all yourself. Use YouTube videos, use your textbooks, and just try and work out what it wants. And you know, if you know your exam board, you can go onto the exam board website and look at the specification, and that is just a list of exactly what you need to know for the exams. So anything that is not on the list, you won't need to know. So in terms of actually dealing with the teacher and with the lessons, because I know I struggled in one of my A-level lessons, which I eventually dropped because of the situation that's going on with the teacher and everything, you need to breathe. Just think, it's only an hour long or however long your lesson is. Just think, you know, you're going to be home soon, it's going to be fine, you're not going to die, and just try to get the most out of your lessons. I know I have had these bands on, if you haven't noticed in all my videos, they're always on my wrist. I wear them every single day, or I would have one of those smoking distraction toys, something like that, or a stress ball, and I would always just be playing, messing around with that when I was getting frustrated with my teacher in my lesson, just to try and calm down and take that minute. Or you can always ask to just go in, take a toilet break, or go and get some water or something, just to take that time to calm down, because the absolute worst thing to do is to start acting up in the lessons or like making an enemy out of your teacher. You do not want to make an enemy out of your teacher, because that will make everything worse, and then they will not enjoy teaching you either. So as I said, breathe and try to make the most out of your lessons, because you are, like I said, you're probably only there for an hour. So that is an hour that you could be doing other things, yes, but you're still going to have to do the exam in that subject at the end of the day. So whilst your teacher is teaching, you could be reading a textbook, just checking the information that they're saying against the textbook, or you could just read the textbook on your own. Maybe if you think you'd get into trouble for doing that, as if you're not paying attention to the teacher, talk to your form tutor or head of year, just explain the situation, explain calmly that you don't learn the best from the way your teacher teaches, and you are going to use the textbook in the lesson, and try and pay attention as best you can. Explain the situation first, and then you won't get into trouble for it, because everyone's just trying to do the best by you at the end of the day. So yeah, like I've said, get a stress band and just keep your mouth shut. I know from personal experience that you do not want to make an enemy out of the teacher, so do your best to keep your mouth shut in the lessons, and then just get out of there as quickly as you can and avoid the situation. And then, like I said, if you are struggling, you could get a tutor. However, there would be other options, like if you are friends with someone in an older year than you, then they have already done all of the content before. Even if you're thinking, well, I'm on the new exams, so I can't really ask that year 13 for help, they can help you, because most of the content is actually the same, and then because they've done A-levels, they might have done A-levels on that subject, so they might be able to help you even better. So yeah, if your school does have a sixth form or anyone like that, or anyone you can talk to, just try to ask them. I mean, if you go and ask, I know if in my sixth form, if somebody came up and asked us for help, none of us would turn around and say no, we're not helping it. Everybody would always try to do the best, because we know how much of a difficult time it is, so please don't be scared of us. Yeah, and like I've said, we will always try to do our best to help you, but other than that, it is going to be up to you, I'm afraid. And if you are in that position where you do have a bad teacher, then I am very, very sorry for you, but it's your grade and you're going to have to make the best out of the situation. So I wish you the very best of luck. Good luck.